Hello, my friends. Well, what's the most important thing in the garden? It's your dirt. You gotta have good dirt, and we are headed up north, me and my buddy Ed, and we're gonna find us some good dirt at a farm we have not been to before. So come along with us and let's see what we find. What you saw at the opening of today's video, we're gonna get to that in just a minute. But first, let me tell you why Ed and I loaded up the trailer and headed north. I have been wanting to find a new solution to our compost needs. I truly believe in the power of compost, but have never been much of a composter from scratch kind of person myself. It just never really worked out. And we've been using a local landscape company for the last couple of years for our compost, but they really couldn't tell me the source of their compost. So when I saw a post on Instagram that a company, Kraft Soil Solutions, was having an event called Soil Sessions, I knew because it's compost time, Ed and I needed to head that way. And we hooked up the trailer just in case we could get compost at the same time. And to my delight, not only did we find amazing compost that is farmed with love and so much attention by Mike Parsons, the founder of Kraft Soil Solutions in Berthoud, Colorado, but this event featured an unexpected education that I found so inspiring and thought you would enjoy it as well. Now, I'm not much of a scientific geek, but I do love my dirt. And over the course of the next hour or so, I was about to discover, as we saw the beauty of the soil around in a little unsuspecting trailer, when I popped my head inside, a woman sat with her microscope connected to a computer and was sharing her discoveries. The woman was Khalana, Gocken, founder of the Cycle of Life. And in this little unsuspecting trailer she had parked there at Mike's farm, she shared some amazing live footage of what dirt looks like under microscope. So let's jump into the conversation.
Shredding all of the plant matter and decaying matter, so they're making it smaller. So for some reason in horticulture, mites have always gotten this really bad rap. And that's not necessarily the case for 99% of mites. So, and you would not believe how many shapes and sizes soil mites come in. They're pretty cool. I had one that I found once, and sometimes actually the holy grail is finding a few different kinds in the same sample. It's like, oh my god, that's so cool. But once I found one that the whole thing had hairs all over its body, probably twice as long as its body. So then you think about all that movement through the soil, and it's carrying all of that bacteria that's stuck to it through the soil, and it's like this microbial taxi cab just working its way through. Where'd you go, buddy?
And these are the worker bees in the soil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these are these you can find in soil, in really good soils. A lot of times you'll find these like in duff layers and stuff like that, like right kind of between the soil level and the broken down stuff. They're kind of down there working.
How big are those in actual, like what's on your slide right now? It's like maybe like that, like
if you held this slide up with light behind it, you probably wouldn't see this guy. This one's smaller, this one's more magnified. The first one I saw was on the lowest magnification, so you could probably see that one with the naked eye and just not know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can see the hairs on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just doing its thing.
Fascinating. Busy, busy, busy.
Yeah, because they're fun to sit and watch, because you kind of get used to what they look like. And at first, before you're used to them, you're like, I don't know what that is. It looks like some clear membrane. And then a minute later, you're like, I don't think that's the shape it was in a minute ago.
Wow.
Is this the reason this sample is too young for them to show up, or?
It might just be too cold yet.
Oh, too cold.
So they might be encysted. Like sometimes naked amoebas will get their little cyst shells are super cool. They'll get just a bigger circle, and then they'll get a clear shell around them, and they're really ornate and funky patterned. So they'll look like, I don't know, they look like maces or different things like that. They're pretty cool. But I haven't seen any, so. Yeah, that guy's moving.
Jeez, working.
The fast guys, so when you do a count, that's a bacterial feeder. So when you do a count, later, you can run a lighter under this slide and it'll heat them up and kind of stun them. It kind of ruins the rest of the sample because everything bubbles and like explodes. So, but it kind of stuns them so you can look and see what they are. But they don't always end up where you thought they were. So.
And I missed it. Where are these soil samples you all brought, or where are these soil samples from?
So these are the Johnson Sioux from here.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah. So the Johnson Sioux, are you familiar with them? Okay. Yeah. So.
That's the fungal dominant compost.
This is not the fungal dominant. This is kind of the fungal dominant is still a little quiet because it's still a little early. So the little shell and then that hole in the center where it comes out of. Oh, and either it's moving or something behind it is moving. Might be moving. Like an amoeba test, or an amoeba cyst, because it's got that exterior wall on it.
Say that one more time. It's
Plant parts, so it's plant cells.
it's just waiting to break down.
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yep. Those are always just kind of fun discoveries. So fungal hyphae comes in all different colors and shapes and sizes. This is a clear one that looks like a testate amoeba. This is a clear fungal hyphae, and you can kind of tell because it's got these little walls in between the cells. So sometimes they're clear, sometimes they're almost black, sometimes they're green. So, yeah.
Where would you recommend somebody start if they're trying to learn more about? Because like what you're saying right now is pretty Greek to me.
Right. So I did a microscopy class through the Soil Food Web school.
Okay.
So you could do that formally and take classes and do that stuff, or you can just buy a microscope and play with stuff and watch YouTube videos and see what you get.
What from a gardening perspective for your average gardener, because that's really who this video is for, like where would I need to go to know what I need to know? Is that even a question?
I don't know. That's hard to answer. There's so many resources now, it's really hard to say. I don't know, that's so.
And do you do soil testing? Do you do
So I can do microscopy, like soil population counts.
Okay.
And I can do consulting, and I can review soil tests results and stuff like that, and kind of help you go from there.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't do the chemical testing.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So yeah.
But what to do with it once you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it can tell you different things, and then when you compare your soil test results with your plant health results, that can tell you different things as well.
Okay.
So, because maybe your soil has a ton of, say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example. A ton of magnesium, but your plants are showing a deficiency. You might not have enough biology working in there to break it down. So you can kind of look at how those work together. So, yeah.
Okay.
And I have a couple kind of charts. I was going to leave those
Okay.
outside, but they would be in Will County by now. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. And here are those documents that Khalana was talking about. Feel free to take a screenshot of them if you would like to learn more about this and take it to the next level. It is there, but in the meantime, I hope that you enjoyed this part of the tour as we walked around. And it's interesting how Mike farms this in these rows depending on where the compost is in its different part of breaking down. We've had some incredible winds here in Colorado, and we've had a very dry winter. So it's been quite a chore for him to keep it there, and he needs to water it down at all times. One, to keep it living and breathing, and the other is to keep the soil in place so that it doesn't blow from here to Kansas in the process. But it was quite a windy day that we were there, but a beautiful Colorado day. As you can see the mountains in the background. It was absolutely quite lovely, and we enjoyed every moment of this visit to the farm. And I am going to take you home with me in a minute as I share with you what happened once I got home. But here, Mike, and I didn't get Mike on camera, I realize that, but here he is loading up our fancy trailer. We have the fanciest trailer in town, I tell you. But here he is loading us up with our compost in the trailer, and we'll keep it in the trailer for a while as I get the majority of the back garden done, but then we'll keep a little bit of it in a large container thing that we have for it. So, but there it is. There is our compost to go home. All right, my friends, we are back at home. We've got our trailer full of compost that I will be able to use throughout the season. This is beautiful, beautiful soil. And one of the things that makes me feel really good about this is that I know I'm not using plastic bags to get compost, because I could go through 10, 15 bags of compost easily to get the garden just woken up. So now I don't have to do that, and that feels really good. Even though we do use a company called Ridwell to recycle our plastics these days, I still would prefer to avoid it. And what I learned as we went up to the compost farm was just that inside of this soil is so many organisms that are working together to make the garden stronger and more beautiful, and it's just a beautiful thing. So let's go ahead and head over here to the garden, and I will show you how I go about anyway. Now, as I will always say on this channel, I am self-taught. I don't, claim to be an expert on anything. I just know, after all these years of gardening, what works in my garden. And I always recommend do what works best in your garden. And also at this time of year, again, depending on the size of your garden, take it that's why I like raised beds. Take it one bed at a time. Enjoy it. Really spend the time to see what's coming up, what's popping up, what's healthy, what's not, which is another reason why I like to compost. It's March, almost mid-March, and I like to start composting around the plants that are starting to pop up, because here in Colorado, zone 6A, we're still getting cold nights. I mean, last night it was 27 degrees. I did cover up, I've moved my ranunculus out of the house because they were just like ready to get out. So I put them in a pot in the front, and I've covered them really well. But for the rest of the garden, I can't do that. And so it's really looking at putting compost. It's almost like putting a blanket around them, because we'll still have cold nights right until, I mean, here in Colorado, we could have it up and through May. You never know. You just never know around here, though. It's been an extremely warm winter here. So let's head over to the garden, and I will show you. I have one bed done that I did yesterday, and I I'll do another bed today, and I'll take you with me to do it. Let's go. All right, I got me a bucket full. Well, a little bit. I got probably this much in here because it's heavy. And I'm going to work on this bed over here. But first, let me grab the camera and show you the bed over here. I chose this bed yesterday because I have this helleborus that it's starting to bloom. It actually started to bloom, oh my gosh, like a month ago. Like I was saying, our weather has been so warm that it has just been incredible. But I have a number of things that are starting to pop up in this bed. So it's just a nice little blanket of compost that is here to get this bed going. The one thing that my husband always reminds me of, especially on the lower sprinkler heads, is, and sometimes I do a good job, I just see it in there, is to, when I'm putting the compost in, is to be careful of getting it into the irrigation system. So I do try to be more careful of that. Oh my gosh, it's a beautiful afternoon. A little chilly still. I think it's in the 40s. But yeah, these are the beds that I have to work with. And again, one moment at a time, enjoy the process. The girls, Luna, hey Loon, where's the ball? Play with the girls as they go. What are you eating? Who knows? Play with the girls, just hang out, enjoy the time, right? Because that's what we're supposed to be doing with gardening, is just not getting stuff done, but enjoying it. But I'm going to do this. I see that one of my Oriental poppies is coming up. I've got my autumn joy that's starting to come up. Lamb's ear, a few things. Lamb's ear needs to be cut back a little bit. So I'll do a little cutting back, a little... just a little exploration. This is the bed that at the end of the season last year, this was covered with my Shasta daisies, and I've I transplanted them actually over into that container that I just showed you. So they're over there. So I just got to see what is here, investigate, enjoy, and get this bed done. So let's do it. All right, well, a couple of days have actually come and gone. I do have this bed finally done. We have had the craziest winds here in the Boulder area, and well, I guess all over Colorado, this part, northern Colorado, we've had them. And so I didn't film getting this done, but it is done, and I will, in the weeks ahead, just show you before and afters of each of the beds as I go through them. But one of the things that I love to do is to always finish up and put the fairies. Guys, so I have the fairies over there oops, I won't point because it makes it go fuzzy, but I have the fairies there in the barn. Been waiting to come back out here. So as I get each bed done, it's like my exclamation point that I put a fairy back in that garden bed. So this is ready to go. Everything's been clipped back. I really did the lamb's ear. I did cut back quite severely. There was a lot of dead in there, but everything else is looking really good. And I know all those organisms are in my soil, and I love it very much. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Next week, we're talking more beds as we do them, as well as it's tomato time. And I will share much with you about that. And until then, my friend, remember to plant often and to always do it with love. Thanks for joining me today, my friend, and please subscribe to the channel so that we can come to you directly every Sunday morning. And please leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing in getting your garden started for the season, and any questions that you might have. The composters in today's video are in the description below.